I'm Miss Lori,
I'm Miss Elizabeth.
and we're going to be your child's teachers this year at Stony Brook Preschool. We're really excited. We've been working really hard in the room, both of our rooms this year, to get them ready. We will be splitting the Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning class into 6 and 7 kids each. And so Elizabeth's room is right next to this classroom. So we'll be able to see each other. We will be playing outside at the same
our
time.
recess time.
On the playground. And then the Tuesday, Thursday class, we will all be contained in this room because I think we have 8 students in that classroom. So, welcome. We usually do this in person, so this is a little bit awkward for us, but we're doing the best that we can. I asked before you watched on an app, which we'll explain in a few minutes. We're going to be going through some paperwork here that we have uploaded in our app that we're going to use for our class. So maybe we should talk about that first.
Okay.
So you go ahead, Elizabeth.
All right.
And talk about the app.
Oh yes, the app. So we're going to be using ClassTag this year. It's great. We can send announcements. We can upload videos. We can communicate with you in a variety of different ways on it, and it's just a great way to keep in touch, even when we're all back together, which hopefully will be some point during the year. We'll still be using that app just as a way to communicate with you. There were a bunch of files that Miss Lori put on there for you. These are very important papers. We need them back before your child can come to school. So you can bring them completed to the Meet the Teacher, which we also have a sign up for on the ClassTag app. And if they're not completed at that point, we can go through them real quickly, make sure everything is completed correctly at that point. And if they're not completed, we'll just ask you to stop at the office and maybe fill them out there. We need to have them in before your kids can come. And the first day is going to be with the new drop-off system. It's going to be a little crazy anyway. So we want to have that taken care of at the Meet the Teacher, just to have it out of the way, one less thing to worry about. The first one, and you're not going to be able to see it, I know, because we're pretty far away, but it's the Child Enrollment in Health Information for Childcare.
I think on ClassTag it's listed as application.
So this is the most important one. You have to fill it out completely. If something doesn't apply to you, if you don't have a work or address or phone number, if you're a stay-at-home or anything like that, put NA or a /. Every line has to have something on it. And signatures, and just go through the whole thing. If you have any questions, leave it blank, and we will answer them, and we can fill that part out quickly. What are the parts that always trick people up?
There's a signature on the front page, I think. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's on the third page. Actually,
Third
there's
page.
2 places for a signature.
Yes.
Permission to transport, which we wouldn't personally transport. That would be for an ambulance, which we've never had to call.
Never.
And at the bottom, there's another part for parent signature. We just need to make sure that you sign those 2 spots.
Those are the things we'll check when you bring it in, and we'll just make sure everything is filled out correctly so that there aren't any problems there. There's an acknowledgement and consent to adhere to Stony Brook ELC guidelines. This is pretty self-explanatory. It is a waiver with COVID and everything going around. It's a waiver. I don't know how else to say it. There's a permission for use for image. We're not going to post any videos of your kids on Facebook or anything like that, but this is even for like the class picture, or if we do put a picture on our ClassTag page, which is it's a private group that's just us, so only other parents would see it. But you need to check yes or no. Understand if you check no that your child will not be in our class photo. So that's just something to consider. Financial agreement, also pretty self-explanatory. Child's full name, you've got your scheduled payment, signature, and personal information down at the bottom. And then the medical, this you fill out in conjunction with your pediatrician.
And that's not an attachment on ClassTag, so if you need one, let me know. But the office, I think they have sent you that in their original packet they sent out.
And this will also have, you should also, I believe there are instructions to get your immunization attached to it. And the last one is just a child information sheet. This is something we keep as a reference in our room. It's just siblings, just various information, and then any additional notes, anything you want to tell us about your child would go on this, and we have a file of them, and we read them quite frequently, actually. We reference back to that quite a bit. So that's the paper. We are also asking for, I believe, 5 wallet-sized photos of your child. Stony Brook is providing art boxes, so everybody has their own supplies. As 3-year-olds, we are going to assume they're not going to recognize their name at first, so we're going to put their picture on the box, and then we'll possibly use it to designate other things throughout the room as well.
Yeah, that will be your supplies. One thing on the medical, if your child has an allergy or needs medication at school, when you come in for Meet the Teacher, you'll go to the office and fill out paperwork on that, because we need to keep a copy of that in the room.
And you'll have to train us,
Yeah,
which is typically just, showing
on how
us.
to administer
Yeah.
the medication.
Yeah, most of the more common ones, like EpiPens and stuff, we've seen several times, so we're pretty well versed. Again, never had to use them, but it's always good to get that refresher.
In the attachments as well, there's our welcome letter and newsletter, and we apologize that it is quite lengthy this year, but we've had to change some things, but we are very excited that we're even able to meet in person. So, again, we will be cleaning the room before and after all the kiddos leave. We've got pretty stringent parameters on how we have to do that this year. The church is also purchasing a fogger that will be used in the room at the end of the day. Elizabeth and I will be wearing masks. We do have some masks that have a vinyl cutout, so we'll be able to see our faces, so they won't be the same every day, but we will be wearing a mask every day. And some of your kiddos, we hope, will be wearing masks too. That's an individual decision, but Elizabeth and I...
We strongly recommend that they do wear a mask.
Yeah.
In years past, we were constantly telling children already to get their fingers out of their mouth, get their fingers out of their nose, don't touch your friends
As
with your
you know,
sticky
because
fingers.
you have 3-year-olds, yes.
Yeah, so the mask that helps.
Would
That-
cut down on germ
would-
transmission, yeah.
very much
with
so.
toys and,
Yes.
if they wear a mask and they need to take a mask break, we're talking about how to build in some little breaks for them to take a break and be able to take that off as well. So,
And we will have a way to store that. I believe we're going to use quart Ziploc bags with their name on it to store the masks when they're taking mask breaks, so that there's no cross contamination once again.
yeah. So if you could
Yes.
work with them at home, if you're planning on them having a mask, on how to put that on and off by themselves, just to lessen the frequency of us grabbing their face mask. And if they don't want to wear them when they're out on the playground playing, some of them may not want to do that. We'll have those bags, labeled bags, with us out on the playground. So we'll be wearing our mask, we'll be cleaning, we're going to be having windows open and fans on, helping to ventilate as much as possible. We are trying to do some distance between the kiddos. We cannot do 6 feet, and I mean, they're 3 years old, so we're not expecting them to stay 6 feet apart. We do have sit spots on our carpet now that are little places that they'll sit for calendar and different activities that are about 3 feet apart on the floor. We will space them at the tables. They won't be as close as they were before. It will not be 6 feet, but we're going to do the best we can with that. During playtime, we're going to try to limit the number of kiddos in different areas, but again, with our numbers being so low, we feel pretty good about that. And then again, we will clean after they leave and before they come in. And also, when they come in the room, they'll wash their hands. In the morning, when we go to the playground, when we go to the restroom, anytime we leave or come back in, we have always washed our hands, so that really helps
Yes.
a lot on cutting down germs.
And starting last year, we used to not be able to have hand sanitizer in the rooms because it was just a state law. But they have changed that law, thankfully, so we have wipes, and we also have hand sanitizers, so depending on the activity, we'll be using them both in conjunction to keep those little hands clean.
So those are kind of some of the things we're doing because of COVID this year. I'm trying to just go through the newsletter just a little bit with you about our day. We generally go through the alphabet with our school year, so we plan our lessons and activities according to the alphabet. So we will start the first week here, which
The 14th.
the 14th. Or
Crazy.
the 15th,
Yes.
if you're a Tuesday, Thursday class, we will be starting in with letter A. So we'll be talking all about apples that week. And we'll be doing all sorts of things with apples, painting with them, doing some science experiments with them.
It's a fun week.
Yeah, it's a really fun week, reading books about them. So in conjunction with that, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we have sharing. So the kiddos are able to bring in an item that starts with the letter of the week. So it will be an A. So if they wanted to bring in an alligator, they'll put it in a Ziploc bag. Again, this is explained in the newsletter with the name on it. Well, they'll keep it in their backpack and then bring it out for sharing. So they'll be the only one touching that item and just kind of saying what it is and telling us something about it in front of the room. It's a good way for them to kind of get to know each other and share some of their special things from home. Let's see, that's sharing. We will celebrate birthdays this year. We're asking that you don't send anything in from home except for, sometimes parents used to send goodie bags in. But if your child has a favorite book, we thought maybe it would be fun for them to be able to bring that in a bag in their backpack, and we could read that book that day. And we do always make them a crown they get to wear on their birthday with stickers on it, and we will sing them happy birthday. So again, unfortunately, we're not having parents in the room starting off the year, so that was something that we used to do in the past, but
Yes.
we will make it a special day for them. We're asking this year for supplies, which we have not done before, but each kiddo, as Elizabeth said, will have a box. And do you want to talk about what supplies we're
Yes.
asking
All
for?
right. So we're going to keep it pretty simple because the main, at this age especially,
Should
preschool is
Get a
about,
sample.
yes. At this point, preschool is about socializing and, of course, learning, but learning through play. So it's not going to be a lot of, notebooks and binders and the things older kids have. We are asking for 2 large glue sticks, a pair of scissors, and we want them to be the blunt tip. And Friskers is really the best brand that we found for this, but the blunt tip ones that are specially made for your child. And if you happen to know your child's hand orientation, they do have left-handed ones. And we will have some spares as well in our classroom. And my child is left-handed, so I brought his old scissors in, so I do have a left-handed pair or 2. We're gonna ask for a box of well, here's a sample of the glue stick size we want.
We use a lot of glue sticks, and
Yes.
we may be requesting more of those down the line.
Right. This size, and then we need a box of crayons, 8 crayons. This size is a little bigger than the standard Crayola, but not quite as big as the jumbo, but it's a great size for your kids' hands. Here's a sample of the scissors.
And the scissors, I'm sorry, we would prefer your kids get the blunt tip. I
Yes.
grabbed the wrong one,
Yeah.
but
And then we're asking for 2 containers of Play-Doh. We do a lot with Play-Doh at our fine motor table. That's a great thing to strengthen those fingers. So we do a lot of it. However, again, with COVID, we don't want them sharing Play-Doh. So they're each gonna have their own labeled Play-Doh containers. 2 colors of your choice, or child's choice. Again, 4 wallet-sized pictures of your child so that we can label things so that they know. And a backpack. The backpack should be a standard size backpack, not one the little ones, as cute as they are not great for their work. They already have a hard time, even with regular size backpacks, they have a hard time putting their work in without crumpling it. The smaller the backpack, the more crumpled the work is gonna be, and they work so hard on these things, and they're so proud to show you. So we want it to look as nice as possible. So a regular size backpack, please. And then in that backpack, we do want a change of clothes in a Ziploc bag, just in case there's an accident. Accidents happen. And we handle them very quietly and off to the side, and we have the staff come and change them out, and then we'll clean up right away. But just have a change of clothes. We do have a supply in the office, but the child is typically, your kid's gonna be more comfortable in their own clothes. And then we'll put the dirty ones in the Ziploc and let you know and drop off that you have some clothes that you'll need to launder. And then throughout the year, we may be asking for things like wipes, Kleenex, paper towels. We know some of these things are hard to find right now, but just if we ask for something and you can't find it, let us know, that's fine. But if you can, that's a huge help to our classroom.
And I think we'll be able to send out reminders on the class tag if we are in need of something, so that might be a good place to check for that. In regards to the bathroom accidents that happen. I do not have a bathroom in this classroom, but in Elizabeth's classroom, she actually does have a bathroom. So
crazy times.
it's a great help to have them go to the bathroom right before they come to school, as they're getting ready to go out the door. And then we will go out to the playground and we will take a bathroom break right around 10 o'clock, so they'll only be here for an hour. Since I don't have a bathroom, we go down as a group and everybody goes into a stall. It's kind of a big deal, learns how to wash their hands, and at least sits down and tries to go potty, because we have found with 3-year-olds, nobody ever has to go to the bathroom until the last minute. So that has been very successful for us, because if they take a minute and actually go, then they're not holding it. So we really don't have a lot of accidents in school.
And in keeping with that, I am going to have it designated, even though I have a bathroom in our room, and they can ask, of course, anytime they need to go, they can go. But I am going to have a specific time set aside where I ask each child to go in and try. Just again, because they're not going to necessarily think of it on their own. And your child does have to be potty trained to come here. We are not licensed for diapers, and that does include pull-ups. So please don't send your child in a pull-up. It just makes things a lot more complicated on this end.
And if there are some issues or you're worried about something, please let us know, because we will have the ability to call the office. We always do, if anybody has to go to the restroom throughout the day, and they'll come down and take your child to the restroom. But if you want to make sure they're just learning, or it's a kind of a new thing, we'll call the office and they'll take them down a little more often. We'll just put a reminder on our phone for an alarm to go off, because we have kids and we've done that too. So we've been there.
Oh, that's true. We didn't really do our little
I know.
About ourselves.
We'll talk about ourselves at the end when you're really tired of hearing us talk. We'll talk about some of this stuff when you come in for Meet the Teacher. Okay, drop off and go ahead.
I was going to say, if you've had children here before, drop off and pick up is going to look a lot different than it has in years past, as in you are no longer coming into the building. I know that Miss Emily and Miss Kelly are recording a video to sort of drive/walk you through how that is going to go, but we are going to actually have drop off at our external doors this year, and pick up. So that's going to look a lot different. If you're a first timer here, it's not, you have no frame of reference, of course, but I know that we have some returning little siblings and we're super excited about that. Yay. So that's going to look different, but
our classroom color is green, Elizabeth and I. So when you come in to the parking to the church, you'll come down and we're going to be the first sets of classrooms. Well, it's Kim and Janine and then Elizabeth and I. Our names will be on the door, and our color again is green, and your child will get a green paper with their name on it to have in your windshield. And you're just going to pull up right along outside of our doors and not park. You're going to stop, and one of the staff will come out and get your kiddo from the car, take a temperature, make sure it's under 100, and we're assuming as well that you're watching signs. They're listed in the newsletter again of if your child's not feeling good, that they can't come to school. Once the temperature's okay, they'll get them out and then they'll walk them up. We'll meet them at the door and they'll come in. We'll do another temperature check just to record the temperature, and then they're in here for the day. Again, it's not the ideal situation for us, but please know the first couple weeks there are probably going to be tears, and we will comfort your child the best way that we can. And there have been a few exceptions, but Elizabeth's poor first year. But for the most part, as soon as you're out of sight and they're in the room, they calm down very quickly. And for some, it might take a little bit longer, but I promise you, we have never had somebody cry the entire year or even the first month. So again, this year we kind of have, in previous years, have trouble separating, but this year that separation is going to happen at the car, and I know it's going to be hard for everybody.
And this might be something you want to talk to your kid about beforehand, just so they know that somebody, a new face is going to be getting them out of the car, and it's okay.
And so also please be patient, because again, the school has never done this before. So the mornings drop off and pick up for the first couple months, even weeks, we're assuming are going to be a little bit hectic. And when weather comes into a factor, I don't know, but just make sure everything's kind of in that backpack. Oh, also with the in the backpack, we would like them to bring a water bottle. I don't know. A clean labeled water bottle that they'll keep in their backpack, because we don't have drinking fountains
Anymore.
Well,
Well,
they're closed, right?
yes.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, they'll come in the room, we'll do all the things we're gonna do during the day, and then dismissal, we'll have the kids with their backpack coats on if they have them, waiting at the tables, and then as you pull up, the staff will let us know the name, and then we'll walk, or they'll come get your child and put them in the car at the end of the day. Because we're not face-to-face, which is a part of our job that Elizabeth and I will be really sorry to
Yeah.
miss, because we enjoy creating relationships with families as well. So we will be communicating, we are hoping through class tag or a text or an email if we need to tell you anything. That's kind of a part of that we're losing, that we're kind of a little bit sad about, because it's nice to connect every day upon pickup. On your end, the same way. If something's happening at home or you have any questions at all, again, we're both parents, please
Yes.
let us know, and don't let it bother you and lose sleep over it. But it's probably going to be a rocky start, maybe not. Maybe with COVID,
Yeah, maybe.
2020, we're going to have a great start to the preschool year, but we are looking forward to getting to know your kiddos. But that's going to be something that's different this year. If you have any questions about that, we will be able to answer most of those at Meet the Teacher Day with you. Speaking of Meet the Teacher, on that day, there's going to be a sign up on class tag, but you're going to come to our classroom doors that day. So they'll be marked on the door, the outside door. We'll probably have them propped open, and we'll try to have a timer in here, so we can only have one family in at a time with masks on. So if you're waiting out there and the door's shut, you may want to knock on the door so we know it's time to switch, because we do have to clean in between you guys coming in. Name tags, which I think I've got mine, sorry.
We're gonna start the year with everybody having a name tag, just until we learn their names. After that, we will, it's usually a week or so, I'd say. We're pretty good at
Yeah,
learning
and
names
with the
pretty
small
quickly.
numbers this year, we'll be
Yeah.
pretty good. Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, your name tags will be red, and Tuesday, Thursdays, yours will be yellow, and we kind of just color code that as a record keeping system for Elizabeth and I. If you would put this on them at home before they come to school, some kids don't like to wear it, so sometimes we sneak them on their backs so we can see them. And the reason for this too, you doing that at home, is with 3-year-olds, a lot of times they're so shy they won't tell us their name, so we want to make sure we're calling everybody by the right name. And then at the end of the day, when they get in the car, you can take it off and drop it in their backpack. But we just want to make sure that those are on for the first, again, couple weeks. Communication, we talked about class tag, and that's new for us, but we're hoping that it works really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some ability for parents to communicate through that app and get to know each other. So
I assume most of you are younger than us and are probably very familiar with these sorts of apps. This is new territory for us. I mean, with our kiddos in school, we've used a variety of things, so it's not like we're,
yeah.
not tech savvy, but probably not
We're
quite as tech
learning.
savvy as you. So, any hints you have, by all means, we'd love to hear them.
When you come on Meet the Teacher, you will get we have some alphabet work, numbers and things like that. You will have a calendar, I think a handbook in here. There are some updates to the calendar. There's a directory, some things about pickup and drop off, and some financial things. Oh yes, your handbook is in here.
Yeah.
It's quite lengthy.
There's also, yes.
You can read that if you would like.
There's also a song sheet. Music is also going to look a little bit different this year, since we're not going to be able to get all the kids together in the mallway, which is always a fun time. We will be doing music in the classroom, but we're still going to follow Miss Kim's song sheets, and maybe throw in a couple of our own little gems as well. So we'll still have some musical exposure. It'll just, again, like everything, look different this year.
So normally the whole school would go out to the mallway, but on Mondays and Tuesdays when we would normally do that, Elizabeth and I are gonna have a designated time to do that. But please, we do sing and dance.
A lot.
All day, most of the day. So, but we do wanna make sure that all the kids learn those songs, so it's kind of fun on those days when they come home, if you have the song sheet to kind of reiterate what we learned at school, and they can sing some of their new songs with you. In the event of our school's shutting down for any reason, the school would let you know about that. We will be doing distance learning with your kiddos, and we have not done that before. So what we're thinking is that we will do a lot of it through ClassTag with videos, and we are going to try to figure out how to do some live interactions with your kiddos and let you know what times we'll be on. We'll have recorded videos. You will also be picking up, I think, 2 weeks worth of materials at a time here at the school, and that will be arranged through the school. I'm not sure how that will look yet, but
Yeah.
we will have the materials ready for you, and we'll provide activities. Miss Emily, the director, was thinking that it will be about 45 minutes worth of activities, maybe a half hour for each day that they're in class.
And
So
this is definitely a plan for the worst, hope for the best situation. We hope that it doesn't come to that, obviously, but we do want you to just be aware that we do have contingency plans in place if it goes that way.
on the bottom of our newsletter, we have our cell phones and emails, and I know we're both willing to take messages from you whenever.
Yep.
And we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If it's an urgent message and we need to know right now, you probably want to call the office, because we'll have your kiddos, so we may not be able to read an email right away. So if it's something that needs to be taken care of while your child's here at school, you may want to call the office and let them know. So the Meet the Teacher dates will be the 8th and the 9th of September, and that will be on ClassTag. Again, we did the same video for both of our classrooms. The only one difference in our classroom is that the 3-day classes, we do get a Scholastic magazine, and we will give you information about that when you come in.
Okay.
So a little bit of background, because we forgot that at the beginning. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Well, I've been here at Stony Brook as a teacher. This will be my, what did we decide, 5th year. I started with my daughter Lucy. I have 2 children, Duncan and Lucy. Duncan started 6th grade this year, and Lucy started 4th. They both came here to Stony Brook, and that's how I got to know the school. And when Lucy started kindergarten, I was originally going to sign on to be a sub, but a teacher was retiring, so now I'm an assistant teacher here with Miss Lori. I've been in Gahanna now since 2003. My kids go to Chapel Field, and I think that's it for me.
I am Lori. I think this is my 9th or 10th year here at Stony Brook. I went to school to be an elementary teacher, and I did that for a while until I had started having my kiddos, and then I stayed home with them. I have 3 sons who are now 21, well, 21 tomorrow actually, 17, and a 13-year-old. So I have one college, one junior in high school, and Grant's 8th grader, my youngest. So when my youngest, went back to school here at Stony Brook, there was a job opening, so I got in when he did that. So I love my job. I love coming to work every day, and that's really what my goal is for my kiddos, that they enjoy what they do every day. I'm married. I can probably almost see my house from the school. And I love my job. I don't know what else to say about it.
We've worked really hard with the 2 classroom thing. It was a little challenging, but we've worked really hard to make both classrooms equally as inviting, equally as fun.
We will be doing the same lesson plans in both classrooms, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, the Tuesday, Thursday will be in this room, but the ones that are separated because of numbers, we will be doing the same thing, just in different rooms.
It's going to be an adventure, and we're excited to do it.
Yeah, we are. So if you have any questions, which I'm sure you have plenty, please let us know. Again, if you can't download the paperwork, let us know. And we'll be sending lots of emails and reminders out. And again, we're hoping the ClassTag thing works, but if you're having trouble with that, just reach out to us. We're going to be uploading everybody's emails to that today. Well,
and on ClassTag, if there's somebody else, like a grandparent or anybody that you would like to add, that we're going to add your emails, but if there's somebody else who's going to be pretty actively involved and that will need to see the announcements and stuff.
Or both parent.
Or both, yeah.
Emails.
However you want to set that up. If there's somebody additional that you would like to add, please let us know, and we can add that person as well.
So thank you. We will see you at Meet the Teacher. Bye.
Bye.